Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your two hosts, Cody Hucker.
John Holmes.
That's not John Holmes. That's fucking Lloyd Johnson. Stop making this terrible, shitty, fucking overdone joke. God damn it. I'm sick of this.
I know.
Everyone's sick of this. You're not going to do us how you do your fucking zoo coworkers, and you come in there with the same fucking... what is the joke that you make at work relentlessly for the last 20 years where your coworkers want to fucking murder you? Stop doing that to our podcast, dude. We fucking built this thing up for 5 years. Just have you ruin it with your fucking dumb joke. Nobody knows who we are, man. We got to tell people who we are. You son of a bitch. This week our guest is the very delightful, the very hilarious local Cincinnati comedian, Terra K. Everybody give it up.
Hello, hello.
Woo!
Hello, hello. Very excited.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Terra, before we talk about anything funny or people have any reason to go out and see you, plug your dates.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So I will be performing at Go Bananas at the Pro-Am.
Oh, shit.
Mike on, let's see.
Is this your first time at Bananas?
October 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. No, it's not. I did Go Bananas. I did Yoga Nanas, taught by the lovely Hannah. And I did that showcase. It was a Sunday afternoon.
Did you do yoga with her, too?
I did participate in yoga, but I wore underwear out of respect for my fellow comedians. Yeah, no, I typically don't. But yeah, I did for that. Yeah.
All right. We'll be hanging no labia in the middle of yoga names.
Oh, absolutely. Just like fucking spread eagle on the side next to the other features. Like, this is what I'm about, bitch. Like, yeah. No, we classed it up. We wore underwear.
Yeah. You want a bite of the sandwich?
Yeah. It's the best roast beef you'll ever taste, man.
Our boy isn't here, but he's got a little performance that he's got going on.
Yeah.
Let's plug that real quick. Can you read this for me, Lloyd the Golden Voice Johnson?
Simply Comedy at Symposium. A stand-up showcase, 2835 Woodburn Avenue, September 20th, 9 p.m. Free show, which will feature Luke Young, Dennis Piper, Luke Capasso, Kyle Kemper, Lee Kimbrell, and is hosted by Carter Daughtry.
Holy shit, that's a huge show for our boy.
Yeah.
So big, in fact, that
all right, so I'll set this. We were thinking all week of how to fuck with Luke because he wasn't going to be here today.
This boy done got himself.
And then he went and did it himself. So we didn't have to come up with anything. We're just going to read what he sent to Cody.
So he gets his first fucking paid gig, and I get this text message. Hey, dude, I just got this show with Connor Daughtry, which he fucking spelled his name wrong. Like, good job, Luke. It's Carter Daughtry, you fool. Carter Daughtry, and I know I haven't been doing this for long, but I am already getting paid to do spots. I feel like between that and the time I need to spend with the girlfriend, I hope y'all don't hate me, but I'm going to step away from doing the show. I just don't have the time for all three things in a full-time job. I feel like I'm getting angry as I'm reading this. I'm getting fucking... I was
already past livid when you just sent it because I was like, oh wait to the end. It turfs out so much more.
I gotta take a breath because I am fucking he's never missed a show in fucking ever in the history of the entire podcast, live shows included. This man's never missed a show, and then we get this fucking text message the minute the kid gets one $25 gig that includes 2 free drink tickets. Now he doesn't have enough time. Oh, okay, it's okay.
I don't even think he'll make $25, man. He left this podcast to make maybe $10 to $15.
Wait till the end because it shows where his head was when he sent this.
If you see me fucking shaking, I'm a little hot under the collar. All right, I'll be real with you, a little hot under the collar about it. But I hope y'all don't hate me. We don't. We love you. We love you so much. But I think I'm gonna step away from doing this show. I just don't have the time for all three things in a full-time job. I feel like I need to focus on my career and your fucking career and my girlfriend. I'll come back if there are bigger comics or live shows and you guys need me. I hope you two can understand it isn't that I don't love the show. I really need to prioritize what I spend my time doing. Love you, bros. Oh, you love us, bros. And also a big fuck you to Terra K. Hey, if you were a bigger comic, Terra K, Luke would be right here with you, fucking soaking up all the attention and the coattail riding that he can get.
Show them the message so they know. Like,
I would believe you if he didn't say, but let me know if you have bigger comedians on, and then I'll definitely appear for those.
Look at
this fucking brick of message.
Oh, man.
Look at the name on it.
bigger comics or live shows. It's like only for the important shit, but I can't just sit here and bear to talk to you two butt nuggets for as long as that's pretty much what he's saying. It's just like I have better things to do. Yeah.
He's like, if you got things that might help me out, no, show the camera the fucking show
It's
them.
real.
So they can
I
see.
forwarded you, so if it's got Lloyd's name on the top, but
Okay. I feel bad because now I'm making fun of like males' feelings, and like men should have feelings too.
well,
I
I
just
think
love-
our artistic co-host right here would disagree with that. Lloyd, how do you feel about men or people in general having feelings? How do you feel about feelings?
I'm kind of against it in general. I don't really like to see it or have to experience it. And
yeah, so make sure to go see the
professional comedian Luke Young slinging dick all over the comedy scene now because he's. Well, I mean, unless
too big for the sermon.
So he'll, he's going to be here for bigger comics or live shows if we need him.
Yeah.
As if we can't do it without.
In all seriousness, this is a free show, and it does have fucking Luke Capasso on it, and Lee Kimbrell, and Carter Daughtry, and whoever those other names
Dennis
are.
Piper's hilarious.
That I should know.
I
that are
don't know
probably
Kyle
funny.
Kimber that well, but everyone on there is funny.
For sure, go and
Kyle
see the
Kemper's
show.
from Dayton. He's pretty hilarious.
If you go, though, heckle Luke. I mean,
Yeah.
heckle Luke. We support you heckling Luke. That's fine. That's fine with us.
Take used batteries. You can throw those at him.
Yeah, dude. They have to be used, though. It's very important that they're corroded on the outsides.
Oh yeah, reduce, reuse,
don't waste a
recycle.
new
Little
one.
acid burn. Oh, I don't give a shit about recycling. But the acid on the outside, if it burns his ginger little white skin, that would be
Yeah, you know he's got
chef's
sensitive
kiss.
skin, so.
You know he does, yeah. He can't sit underneath these lights too long, let alone the sun. He'll evaporate.
So now we have to, what, I guess, either just me and you do this most of the time, or
God
we
damn.
try and fill in that spot unless we have a bigger comic.
I say we bring back Neighborhood Hill. I say we have him as the third. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I'm gonna veto that right now.
No?
That was
The greatest episode we've ever done. All
Do
right.
you feel like your bond isn't strong enough? Like, do you feel like maybe you two aren't interested enough or enough for each other?
I mean, I'd
You're
fuck him, but do a
enough.
podcast with him. Come on. I mean, look at him.
Well, I
He's
mean,
a
that's the
tall drink of
dynamic.
cum over there, but I don't know about talking to him. Ugh, gross.
The dynamic is he
But I'll
says.
lift those balls and tongue that dirty butthole all night long. But I mean, talk to him.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Yuck.
I mean, let's be honest.
I
Yuck.
mean, you could have a podcast with two people.
Yeah, I just was curious what because we haven't actually discussed like what to do with it now because we literally got that not long ago.
I'm frustrated, and I'd rather just move on. Let's just have a fun show. I don't have any more to add to this. My palm. You look at my fucking palm. My palms are sweaty. I would say feel them, but
Mom spaghetti.
I'm probably gross. So
Yeah.
don't. There's like black flecks of something on my hand. I don't know what that is. It's probably just. It's the actual like.
It's
anger
whatever-
manifesting itself in a physical form, in the form of carbon on my hand.
It's whatever putridity is in your veins already just seeping out.
You know, or we could just simply say, like, my friend hurt my feelings. And
Nah, dude, that's
men
gay,
can
dude.
have feelings.
No, dude, that's gay. Men
No,
don't
I'm gonna
have
say
feelings.
he's a clout chasing hoe.
I'm not gay,
But I
well,
still like him.
unless I'm drunk. But
I'm just saying, like, I was fine until the bigger comics or live shows. If you need me, okay, if we need
yeah,
you.
dude,
Yeah.
the
'Cause you
fucking
can't possibly do it without
the
fucking,
fulcrum of the bastard sermon, Luke Young, Luke the traitorous ginger fuckboy Young. All right, well, fuck Luke and his big giant dick, but go and see his comedy, heckle him, throw batteries at him. That's a good plug. Make sure you go and see the Pro Am Night on October
Also,
12th.
I
Is
like
it October 12th Pro Am Night? I'm sorry, Pro Am Night.
Yeah.
Pro Am Night, October 12th.
which is my birthday.
7 p.m.
It's your birthday week, bitch.
my birthday.
Okay.
Are we
you
going?
always have like Halloween themed birthdays?
No,
No?
I don't do birthdays. There's more than once that I've had someone else tell me it was my birthday.
Are we recording on October 20th? This is important. Trust me, it's relevant. Let me go to our calendar. So, what October 20th is... Oh, we're not recording that day. Fuck, we should. It's the anniversary of my dad's suicide, so maybe we could do some fun dad suicide episode.
Maybe we should do like the cry episode we were talking about, where I just keep saying shit to you that makes you cry, and you try not to cry for as long as you can.
Please don't do that to me.
We were talking about it one night drunk, and I was like, "What if we just did an episode where I just keep saying things to try and make him cry?"
You're too good at it. I don't like this.
Like I would hand you that book thing that Lily made me, and you can read that. And
Oh, dude.
That doesn't sound like a friendship. That sounds like a bully.
I mean,
your friends saying things
as
that
close
make
as
you
I get
cry as a bully. You deserve a better friend than that.
Thanks, Terry. You want to be my new best friend?
I'm really busy.
She's like,
but I got a lot going. I'm working a lot of overtime. I'm trying to chase my comedy dreams.
but if you have bigger guests,
Oh, absolutely.
let me know if you get Mark Norman on the
If you
show.
need some help on some live shows, I'm more than welcome to jump in. Yeah.
Phil Pointer's taught you well.
I was gonna say the closest I get to having friends, they're more like pets
Yes.
because I don't want pets. So
I think as I get older,
And you're getting
I
older.
as I get older, I want my friends to expect less of me.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm getting older. I'm tired. I have other things I want to pursue.
I don't like anyone expecting anything of me.
Yeah, no,
all,
it's
ever.
just it's a bummer. It's like, did you call the suicide hotline first? Like, is this really an emergency?
I don't want to get that
998. They've changed it to 998 for any of our listeners, and I know a couple of you need it. 998. Call
Yeah,
that
Most
number.
of the time, I
but
don't even
you
wanna
should
get
call
that.
them first before you call me. Just
Yeah,
in
lose
case.
my number, dial that.
Yeah.
Instead, go ahead, pull your phone out, delete my number. You can keep the name in 998. Put that bad boy in there.
Absolutely, but if you want to book
Hit
me on
save.
shows, you can hit me on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah. Instagram's Terra K Laugh. Facebook is Terra Kavendu.
Yeah.
But yeah, for suicide stuff, you should just call the hotline.
Can you spell Kavindu so they can?
Yeah, Kavindu is spelled Kavindu.
And hopefully Luke is up to typing that. If not, I guess I'm gonna have to assume the responsibility of typing descriptions out. Poorly typoed, fucking horrible descriptions that don't have any of our guest shit inside of it. We're really losing an integral.
I didn't even think about that part.
We're really losing an integral piece of the passage sermon.
because I know that now you're going to be like, "Will you write a description for?" I know that message is coming,
Yeah.
and
Just take this as the message already. You've just got the message live.
I am. I'm processing it as we speak, and
Now, I will ask this, so what do you do to honor your dead dad? Because I have a dead dad
I'm
who
glad you
died by
asked.
He jerks
suicide,
off
and
on-
I'm not handling it as well as you are. I mean, you make a holiday of it, and I'm just like, how do you cope?
Oh, I just masturbate over his grave.
Oh, my God.
literally exactly what I was going to say.
I know.
And
That's
then
why I was like, stop stepping on my dick. Quit it.
I saw your
Quit it.
face as I started saying. I was like, "Oh." I swallowed back the words like
When I first started working at Dilly, I walked into the walk-in and I didn't know my boy Scott that well, and I was like, "Hey Scott, knock knock," and he was like, "Who's there, Cody?" And I was like, "My dad killed himself when I was 14." And he was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I was like, "No, I'm just playing. I was 13."
Oh, my God.
And he came out. He was like, Nate, who was our kitchen manager. He's like, "Nate, I have a knock knock joke to tell you."
It's so dark. Well, and
How'd your dad kill himself? What happened?
Well, so my dad hung himself when I was a baby.
Oh,
Mental
sorry to hear
health. But your
I
dad
get it
killed
after having a
himself
Yeah, he
when
shot
you were
him.
13. So it's like your
And in the
dad
house.
got to
We-
know
we
you.
I was a
figured out
couple
why, though.
rooms apart.
Well, it's like your dad got to know you and was like, I
Nope.
hate my son.
He was like a
I'm
good
gonna
dad,
kill
too.
myself.
He was like a really good dad for a while, but then he just got brutally addicted to drugs and alcohol, and then
Oh, no.
I think we narrowed down why. Cody told us a story about having his dad cut roses so that he could wear.
oh,
his,
you're ruining it. So there was a cartoon. Are you familiar with Sailor Moon? Did you ever
Yes,
watch any of that?
I'm familiar.
So on Toonami, right? You watch Toonami. I'm sure you're familiar.
Yeah, it's like, was it Nick at Night or it's like Nick Anime?
It kind of, but on
was it
Cartoon Network. But
Cartoon
so
Network
it was
anime?
after school. It was at like 3:30 p.m. Right when kids were getting off the bus. You'd run home because you'd be like, "Fuck, I'm gonna suffer through Sailor Moon," but
trying to
secretly
make this sound
fucking loving Sailor Moon the entire time watching it. So you get the Dragon Ball Z, but I was like, Sailor Moon fucking rocks, dude. Let's watch Sailor Moon. And there was a dude that wore his name is Tuxedo Mask, and he would fucking throw roses. He couldn't do shit, by the way. Like he would every once in a while save Sailor Moon, but usually he would just fuck stuff up by throwing roses and stuff. And we had a rose garden, so I would fucking ask my dad to cut me a rose out of the garden, and then I would be outside in like a fucking top hat and a cape, like throwing roses at the concrete. And I remember distinctly turning around and looking back at my dad, and he had like this look in his eyes that I didn't understand until I got way older. And
It was
my
like-
dad was using every single muscle in his body did not call his 7-year-old son a faggot right to his face.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like your dad killed himself because his son was a faggot. That tracks. Like I get it. I get it. That's worse.
So what happened was his dad tried to cope with that pain for the next 5 years using drugs and alcohol, and then he just hit a limit of like, it's not getting better.
Yeah.
It's not going uphill. So I gotta.
You just gotta end it now.
And
That's
the way I
right.
know that is he used his gun to do it.
He did use. So he bought me a 22. And he shot himself with my 22. And my dumb uncle that we live with got rid of all the guns. He was like, well, we're getting rid of that one. And I was like, I'd have liked to have kept my gun. And he was like, no, I got rid of his fucking 357, his 44. I was like, cool. No one asked you to do that. He was like, he's always been like gay about guns and shit like that. And he didn't like them. Didn't like blowing shit up like my dad did and fucking shooting stuff. I loved it. I grew up shooting guns. I loved it. It was a fucking... Did hillbilly shit with my dad, blowing. He had oxygen acetylene torch in the fucking. He would get blackout drunk and take me to the garage, and he'd
Dad,
fill
cut
up
me a metal rose so it doesn't break.
Fill up balloons, showing me how oxygen and acetylene works. And I was like, wait, can we fill up? Or he'd fill up solo cups and then hit it with a lighter. Because if you just put acetylene, it makes a little pop. If you take the torch and you fill it with oxygen, it makes a bigger pop. If you mix them, it explodes. And I was like, what if we put those in balloons? And he was like, I like how you're thinking. He was like, what if we took the cannon wick, because we would make our homemade dynamite, and you put a cannon wick in there? What if we light that,
Yeah, you gloss over that.
while my stepmom, I'll get to the homemade dynamite.
I feel like you just said in the same breath, my dad's the best dad in the world because he taught me how to make explosives.
That was just the fun part of it.
That's not a good dad feature. Or
killing himself or telling me
I
everything
think
about
a whole
his life.
bunch of people in Oklahoma City would disagree with your assessment.
I bet they would. But I just want you to know that's not the standard. Maybe don't teach your kid that.
Yeah, don't Timothy
Too late.
McVeigh my children. I'm already showing my 2- and 6-year-old how to.
them in right now. Yeah. Oh wow.
No, but we took the balloons, and so when you have them filled up with that gas, it doesn't really want to rise because the acetylene's heavy. Oxygen obviously is in the air, but we filled them up in the middle of the night, and we lit a tiny little wick, and we threw it up in the air. And when the wick would hit the fucking balloon, it would explode, and it would rattle the windows next to my stepmom, his wife at the time's windows, and it would rattle them, and she'd freak the fuck out. But there was a garage underneath with a little like awning, and we would hide underneath it. So she's like, Mike, what's going on, Mike? Freaking the fuck out, like all this shit. We just kept blowing balloons up until she almost called the cops, and we had to like call it off. Here's one last fun fact. My dad killed himself on her birthday to fuck her over forever.
That's a big fuck you
It's a
for sure.
huge
That's what I'm
You
saying.
take that personal.
See, that's what
I would take that.
You tend to
personal.
take it a little
Yeah,
personal.
my dad didn't kill himself on my birthday, so he loved me. But
He didn't kill himself on my birthday either. So.
yeah, so he like loved. Like, he at least
I
liked
don't
you a
know.
lot, you know.
Yeah, he was still a cunt for doing it.
That's what I'm saying. Like he made it on her birthday with your gun. There is messages.
Yeah,
that was
your
thought
dad
out.
was saying something. Like it's sus. Like it's for sure. Oh,
Do you still
man.
have struggles with it though? Like, are you still like depressed about it? and stuff?
It's just very weird. Like for the longest time, I thought it was my fault, and you know, clearly it's not.
When did you find out about it? You said you were a baby, so.
Oh, I'll never forget it. So I'm adopted, but my birth grandmother, when I was living with my birth family, my birth grandmother, who's my mom's mom, she told me, she was like, your dad killed himself. And
How old were you?
Oh man, I was a baby. So I don't even.
Why the fuck would they
I don't
tell
even
you?
remember him, but
My daughter asks me about my dad all the time, and I'm like, he died, and it was like, how? And it's like, it's not a story for you yet, so.
Oh no, well so my grandma, she did not like mince words. She said he died, and I was like, how did he die? And she was like, he killed himself. And I was like, well, if he killed himself, does that mean he went to hell? And she's like,
Yep.
well, he killed himself. And I was like, what? Like, so I'm learning that my dad died by killing himself, and I'm learning that he's burning in hell. And that just truly started to erode all of my faith.
Yeah. Learning how cool Christianity is along with fucking.
Are you sure he didn't just leave to get a pack of cigarettes and your grandma was mad about it?
You know what? If he did, it was like a really successful kind of disappearance, because I got like a survivor's benefit check until 18. Like, he
Yeah, dude.
really made good on his word.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, no, it was
I
really
got
great.
2 Social Security checks, and I bought the shittiest Dodge Dakota the worst truck that you could possibly buy. That's what I got out of my dad being dead.
Dude, I think my dead dad provided for me more than like people's actual living fathers with those checks.
That rules.
Yeah, I was like,
What'd you get?
yeah.
Did you buy some sweet like drugs and like really disappoint your dad? Like,
Oh no, even better. So
If he was alive.
I saved up $5,000 from that money, took it freshman year of college, and blew it in my first year of college.
hell yeah,
On
dude.
just like Waffle House and booze. And
Yeah,
shopping.
that's what you're supposed to do with
I
that
did
money.
not work my freshman year of college
See,
and blew through
now,
$5,000. Just
My dad
on
waited
fun
till
shit.
my dad waited till I was a fucking adult and drank himself to death. So I didn't get any of the cool like checks or anything. Like my brother killed himself when I was 12.
Yeah, they don't give checks for siblings, which
Yeah.
is like it still hurts.
But that was also that was the person I probably had the most time talking to and interacting with. And they're
Your
like,
dad
yeah,
also arguably killed himself in the most ballsy way out of all three of us here, which is like slowly drinking himself to death, knowing that he had liver failure, and telling him, "Hey, I'm gonna die, and
Oh
it's
my
gonna be
God.
horrible, and I'm not gonna stop." This is
That
also a
is-
man that had a heart attack at work. Machining a part, right? Was that the story?
Yeah.
And he's turning red, hyperventilating. They're like, "Dave, we got to get you to the doctor." And he was like, "I'm not done yet. I'm fine. It's cool." And it's like, "No, you're gonna die here." What? Tell the story.
he was
It's your
literally
dad. You tell the
threatening
story.
the ambulance drivers. Like, if you fucking touch me, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. As they're trying to get him in the ambulance, because he's clearly having something. Like he's apparently was like blood red. Like his face was like red and purple. The way they're like.
But did he not want people to touch him because of like no homo, or like was it just he was freaking out?
he
and
wanted
not
to
knowing?
finish. He wanted to finish, so he didn't fuck over the person who had to deal with it the next morning.
Oh, so he just wanted to work.
Yeah, he just wanted to finish what he was doing, and he's like, "I'll go with you in a minute. Hold on."
Real white trash. I love that.
This
But
also,
hardworking.
but also like when he says ballsy, my dad was on the liver transplant list, and they were like, "Oh, you just got bumped up this far," and he went. He told me, he's like, "You gotta come to this doctor's appointment with me." I was like, "Grandpa takes you all that shit." He's like, "You gotta come with me." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You just do. You gotta go." So I took him, and as he found out he was getting bumped up, the next appointment was him going, "Take me off the liver transplant list." And I'm sitting there like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did this to myself. What the fuck kind of person am I if some kid that fucking has some disease or is born with a fucked up liver or whatever doesn't get one, and I do? I did this to myself." And I'm like, I mean,
Then he raped and murdered 3 children.
with AIDS.
And then he died. I was just gonna say, I was like, we're all part of the Dead Dad Club, and
Yeah.
it's a weird one. It is.
Yeah,
It makes people different.
He waited until
Yeah,
he was,
yeah, very different.
People don't understand that losing a parent at any age fucks you up. Like, it's so hard for me to like describe to people. Like, I had some people. I'm gonna have to dance around the story, kind of, sort of. I had a person tell me that I should be over my dad killing himself, and maybe they're right, but I can't. It's something you wake up with every day and go to sleep with every day, and I can't get rid of. And I'm like, therapy probably would help. Lloyd's talked me into a little therapy. He's a good friend, all jokes aside, very good friend, very helpful. But this is why he could make me cry so easily, because he knows way too much. I've given this man too much ammunition. All right, this man is stockpiled of a giant crate of ammunition against me that could ruin me at any second that he wants to.
I mean,
But
you got to get
that-
a better therapist than Lloyd, though. buddy.
I know,
That's,
for sure.
That's where you got to.
The funny
But
part-
that said,
the
that
funny part
person
is
said
anyone
that.
who meets me would think that,
But that person that said
unless you
that,
got to know
sure.
like the reality of like I've been autistically hyper focused on mental health issues since I was like 12.
It's very helpful. He reads the DSM for fun, and like you would think, yeah, I should probably get a therapist, but it's like he doesn't mind. If he didn't want to be bothered with it, then I would fucking pursue something else. But he's like, no, you have problems that I know how to fix, and you actually work on your problems. So I
And
don't
I
have a
also
problem with
suggest
it.
seeing a professional.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time. He's like, also,
Well,
grain
that's
of
just
salt.
liability for you. You just like, hey, I
Oh
told
yeah, what's he
him
gonna do?
always.
Sue me for my microphone?
But just to finish the thought,
Yeah.
like that's the part that I couldn't explain to somebody that's never been through it. I'm like, it never stops, and you like even you who you're like fuck feelings. You talk about your dad nonstop. You love your Paul. You fucking miss him. You fucking hurts you on some level. Maybe it's different. Your feelings work different. But that's the thing that people that haven't gone through that type of trauma of losing a parent don't get. It never goes away. Like it never even necessarily gets better. You just figure out how to deal with it better, right?
Yeah, no, it never goes
What a
away.
fun comedy
You just-
podcast.
You deal with it. You figure out how to fit it in your life and not be so sad around your friends.
Does it
So you're
fuck your
saying
head
those
up?
checks those checks didn't make you feel better about your dad?
No, it did. I was like,
so much better.
It did, because I was like, thank you for at least setting this up and providing it for me, because I don't know how many kids get it or if
Did you get those all the way up until the COVID checks? Because what a sweet transition that would be, dude.
I got those all the way up until I think it was 18, and so even through foster care. But my foster parents were pocketing the money, and then when I got adopted, my parents were putting it away.
How bad was foster care? Because I have a friend that had a horrific time in foster care.
Dude, it was wild. One of my homes. This is why, like, I'm very hesitant of letting people close.
This is
to
why
me.
you're a comedian. Also,
Yeah, pretty much. So
all
like,
this is what
permanently
anybody
broken.
listening. How do I become a comedian? You have horrible things happen to you your whole life over and over again.
I will never forget it. I lived with a girl and her 2 brothers, and we were all living in this foster home. So it was a single mom, and it was 4 foster children, and the girl was the oldest, and she was the same age as me. I think we were both like 13. And she was fucking. She would have boyfriends and was getting it in and hopping and staying out late and sneaking out windows. And I'm an absolute nerd, just trying to like keep my head above water.
She made me smell her fingers.
Yeah,
trying to watch Naruto.
She stole my money. I will never forget it. I left $5 on my dresser. I went to use the bathroom. I came back. My $5 was gone. And I was like, "Where's my money?" And she's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "It's only you and I up here on this floor." And she's like, "I don't know." And the foster mom had a meeting, and she was like, "Does anyone know where money went?" And everyone was like, "No." And I was like, "I know you fucking took it." Like,
so she broke her kneecaps.
Yeah. Oh no, even better. So we would walk to school, and you know how guys would catcall. You know how guys catcall you when they're driving.
I would never do ever under any circumstances.
Have you ever got catcalled real quick?
Yeah.
I asked because I was like, for sure he has.
For like a positive sexual thing or like negative?
Oh, dudes are trying to fuck this man for sure. Keep with your story. Sorry, I'm derailing stories. That's my specialty on the show.
She was the kind of girl that would flag down those cars and get them numbers, and her brothers were
She's
like,
what we call a lot lizard.
Yeah, and she ended up getting pregnant.
Good kid. What a
good egg.
What a good egg.
She had like a neck tattoo. She got pregnant a year later. Both of her brothers were like,
you were speaking my daddy
they were like
issues
the
language.
kids, the kids from Talladega Nights, you know, just like fucking hyped up a Mountain Dew, very hyperactive. Yeah. The fucking drugged out. It was awful.
Corn syrup and caffeine at 6 years old.
Just leftover meth residue from their parents.
Did you have good foster families?
No.
Bad every time? Yeah. That's what happens every fucking time.
I had to take care of myself and like keep my head on a swivel. So yeah.
Swivel. You can tell she was in some bad neighborhoods with swivel.
Yeah,
that's like the way Luke's brother talks.
I'm finally reconnecting with my friend. He had gone through foster care. He's like a brother to me, but like he just treated me like shit as a friend. And I've excused so much shitty behavior because of how horrific his childhood was. But it just got to a point where it was like, "Fuck you, man! You're acting like a cunt." But he just finally reached out to me to try to like mend a bridge or whatever. And I'm very apt to forgiving like when people have gone through all that type of shit. But I'm like, you're still a fucking dick.
You gotta apologize. You gotta own up to it. You can't let people treat you shitty for no fucking reason.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you know, I mean, just because I was in foster care doesn't mean I can be a dick. That's why these guys, they shoot up places because they can't get laid. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You gotta have some real pain. That's not pain.
Learn a knock-knock joke, motherfucker. Calm down. It's not that bad.
Ask her some motherfucking questions.
Listen
I bet
for
you don't
5 minutes.
That's
it's not
That's
that
all
difficult.
it fucking takes, man.
There are girls out there with neck tattoos that will fuck you.
They will.
That's what I did. I thought I was gonna be a school shooter all the way until I got a pussy the first time I was 16. And what I did was I was like, my friend was like, "Did you hear about that girl? She says she's a former heroin addict." And I basically, you know, Terminator 2. I started Terminator 2 running to her. I was like, and yeah, that's when I got it in for the first time. And then immediately, you know, fucking, I unloaded all my guns. Everything was fucking. I stopped wearing trench coats. I stopped listening to Nine Inch Nails. Everything was fine after that. You get one. It was like, just figure out how to fucking, you know, court the heroin addict. You're an ugly fuck with a big forehead like me. Yeah, get little dick and all that good stuff. You can still fuck. It's okay. I'm telling you, as a guy that wanted to shoot people, you can, little dick, all the stuff that you have, people listening that want to shoot people, you can do it. Just fucking find the heroin addict in your school.
You can
wear
do
a
it.
condom.
We can help.
You'll get there.
And this heroin addict's a fucking hero. She stopped school violence. Like,
see, I undercut mine way too early.
Well, she fucked the whole neighborhood every time that I wasn't at her house. But that's, you know, that's beside the point.
She's doing a service, though. She's preventing
Yeah,
more
she's out there trying to
violence.
stop all school
Absolutely.
shootings.
She was a halfway house for school shooters. Her pussy was a halfway house for every school shooter.
She was a dick koozie for
With a every dude with a 5.5-inch dick that wanted to put bullets into their fucking gym teacher.
She actually finally met some dude with that wasn't bummed out about the size of his dick and was like, "Oh, I don't have to do drugs anymore. We're good now. This is fine. Life does get better." They were right. It gets better.
So, anyways, how'd you get the comedy?
Well, I met this heroin addict. Yeah.
What does pussy taste like?
Pretty delicious. I was like, man, I'll pick up comedy. I'll drop the AK.
I've always been a fan of roast beef, but God damn it.
Yeah.
Something about that black tar heroin Dijonnaise is
It's,
delicious.
Pretty delicious. No, I
love Terra. Go and see Terra's comedy. Go and see her. She's new to comedy and she's fucking funny as shit. I have to say that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no. I'm straight, but
Ish.
yeah, no. I'm absolutely straight.
Okay.
I've tried it out, but I feel like you can't claim bi if you don't like to eat pussy, and I don't.
So I've had weird
claims
problems.
bi.
I don't claim. I've been claiming bi on this podcast, and I feel weird about it because Luke basically has pushed me to this place where I feel like I have to say that I'm bi, but I'm like, I don't even really fuck anybody. I'm weirdly becoming asexual, which I never identified with. I mean, I've got 2 kids, one of them adopted, but the other one biological. I've done plenty of fucking, and I've been plenty I've done plenty of gay shit, but I've never sucked a dick, never fucked a guy, never got fucked by a guy, but made out with plenty of dudes, been romantic with men, like thought romantically about men, spent
That's
the
way
night with
gayer
men, which,
than
yeah,
fucking.
exactly, and that's what Luke and you have said, and it's like claim bi, and I'm like, okay, but the more that I think about it, I'm like, I don't actively ever pursue guys. It just kind of happens, and yeah, I'm into it. So I'm like, am I bi? Am I bi-curious? What is that? Like, I don't know what that is.
I mean, it's whatever you feel comfortable with.
I think you're just drunk by.
Yeah.
That's
There are so many of those in the South, for sure. Yeah.
Drunk
Hey,
bi's a
telling
good.
me I grew up in Alabama.
I don't need the
You
alcohol
know.
to want to kiss a dude or like do something gay with a dude, but it helps. You know, it gets you there. But you've tried it out and you don't like it.
I don't
Well, then
like.
you're not bi.
I'm not. No, but I mean, I support the cause. I'm definitely an ally. But it's
I'm an
just,
ally that says faggot every once in a while. I don't mean it towards your people. I mean it towards my dumb friends, my dumb straight friends. But
You know, it's not my word to get offended about. That's what I also tell myself when I eat Chick-fil-A. Like I can't.
I don't eat Chick-fil-A for
It's
political
good.
reasons.
It's so fucking good.
It's not that
Their
good. I
fucking love their chicken.
I can make
sandwich.
any food better than any place makes it, including almost like really nice restaurants. So every time that I eat out, I feel like, man, I spent too much money on something I could make cheaper and better at the house for myself. And on top of that, Chick-fil-A is literally sponsoring like fucking gay genocide in Africa. So I'm like, fuck Chick-fil-A. But I get it if you eat
You're
it.
telling me you can recreate those waffle fries? Because I know you can.
Yes.
I know the
$1,000,000%,
fucking
yes.
Perfectly cut the way that it's shaped. I fucking
They use a little it's a
yeah.
stamp. You
Yep.
stamp
It's
them
fucking
out. It's
perfect. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
real easy.
Exactly.
They're not
Not
all-
Just
that-
like,
No, I could do it. I promise. I'll change your life.
you
Keep
know
going.
what? Next mic, let's go. Let's fucking see it. First,
Yeah, just whip it out. Here's my pocket waffle fries that I made at the house.
Absolutely.
I wrapped them in aluminum foil in my pocket, so don't
better
worry.
than fucking Chick-fil-A. Yeah. No, I honestly, you can't knock it until you try it, and I think that's why I tried it. Did you try it?
You talking about
were
comedy
you
or pussy?
Oh, both. But no, like, did you try it? Did you
No,
like?
I've never had the income.
Okay.
Like I've always said, if I ever meet a dude where I'm like, I want to fuck that dude, I'll fuck that dude. I don't have a hang up with the
Stop
idea
trying to convince
of it.
us that you're not gay. You hear him just desperately. I'm not gay. No, I've just never had that thought.
Again, if I ever meet some dude and I'm like, hey, I want to fuck that dude, I'll fuck that dude. It's just never come up so far.
Dude, can I just say one of my biggest complaints is I've never met a straight man that's like, I love pussy. Like, I'm straight because I love pussy. I love the way it tastes, the way it feels, the way it looks. That is why I'm straight. It's always
Anyone that
like,
does that-
I just always felt that way.
Any dude that's outwardly doing that is fighting sucking
Yeah.
cocks.
Yep.
He's trying his hardest to not fucking put the nearest dick in his mouth.
That dude is constantly in fear of like, I bet they're so delicious.
Yeah.
I bet they're so delicious.
You listening,
I bet-
Jerome?
Oh my!
You hear that, Romy?
Oh, Romy.
No, I think it's absolute bullshit. It's like you saying a pussy's not cool enough to really be a big fan of.
I don't know where you're getting. Yeah, I mean, I think pussy's pretty dope.
Pussy's all right.
I enjoy
That's
it.
what you should have started with. You were just like, I've kind of always been this way, but like.
That's how you asked. You said, "Did I ever try it?" And I'm not like, "No, fuck that."
I was just
I'm
breaking.
telling
Oh,
you.
well, pussy,
Yeah.
I'll
I was just
never
trying to
go
call you.
anywhere.
I was just trying to long roundabout call you gay. That's all
I know. I
was
was
doing.
just saying the way she
I don't mean it.
posed the question. Yeah, I answered it the way you asked it.
Well, no, I feel like if you meet that guy, I don't think you would change. I think you would just be you.
Should we?
Yeah,
should we
very comfortable.
actively try on the podcast right now to get a guy? Like we should get him to try to hook up with guys, like to see if
Well,
he
that's
likes it.
misleading the guys. Like the guys should know.
I'm
It's
okay
like,
with that.
I like it. Maybe if you put in your bio, like, I'm not sure if I am. It's like, if I just find the right one, it's like, why
If they're not into
Like,
it, I'll
yeah.
put a finger in them.
Yeah,
Come on.
but like maybe put in your bio, bi curious or curious.
I don't put anything in there. I don't fucking
Just,
want
I'm a
anybody talking to
mystery.
me.
Yeah, I genuinely, like, in my brain, I think it'd be cool, like in just out of my own, like,
You think it'd be cool to fuck guys?
well, to be able to be to be attracted to guys and girl, like everyone's on the menu, not just like half, and not specifically the half that likes to talk too much.
Oh no,
Not a
No,
big
it's
talker,
chatter.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm not a big but yeah, I mean, in my brain that would be cool. It's just never popped up. Like,
No, but I think
Alright.
it's cool that you keep it open.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, the day that some dude walks by, I'm like, all right, then yeah, I'm in. I'm
All right,
sold.
let's stop talking to this half a fag. Anyways,
Oh my god.
says the one who's played with dicks. He's like, I've played with a bunch of dicks.
I've made him come.
He's like, I've made out with a bunch of dudes for just emotional reasons. I'm like, that is so much.
I've considered like being with them, but then I was like, I have to fuck them, and I was like, I'm not into that part of it, but I could see romantically being with you. And then I said that,
That
to
is-
Lloyd, and he was like, that's so much gayer. And I was like,
He's
yeah,
like,
I
I
think
just
it's
want
right.
somebody to cuddle with, and I'm like, nope, you don't get to say that.
I mean, men can have feelings too, man. Body pillows
Okay, they
are out there.
can. I just don't want to
I'm more of like
see
a.
it or hear it. Or
That's
know
the
about
affection
it.
that I like. I don't like. I could jerk myself off better than I could fuck. So it's like it's not gonna. Nobody's gonna do a better job than me. Like I've learned that. I've had plenty of like, interactions. I don't. So it's like, who would I prefer the company of? Men mostly. So that's where I'm at, I guess. But not really. I don't know.
I've heard of some guys there. I think these are guys that hate women, but there's some guys that are like, I am emotionally attracted to men. Like I'm close to them. I can have conversations with them, but I am sexually attracted to women. And
I think
I
most
hear
of
that.
those
I'm
are
like,
just-
oh, you hate women?
Yeah, I think that's just like the incel
Yeah.
like cop out.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, this is I'm sweating and drinking too fast for this conversation. Let's move on. It makes me uncomfortable to talk about my sexuality because I'm unsure still.
No, and it's on a spectrum, and you're constantly changing. You can't expect the same.
That's the
thing.
best way to fucking put it, because I'm like, to clearly define it as one term is so stupid to me, because I'm like, it's like picking a political party, which I don't do either. I don't fucking vote, but it's like, with that, it's like...
He doesn't eat
my-
a Chick-fil-A for political
Well, my-
reasons, but
my
he doesn't
thoughts
fucking
about
vote.
it-
He was passionate about Chick-fil-A.
I don't fucking believe in that system.
Vote.
Well, yeah, I don't believe in the system. I don't think it does anything either way. I'm not going to get deep into this, but
Sorry.
I mean, it's the same reason I'll do that, because it's like, if I did vote, though, it'd be some weird mix of both. Like, I don't have clearly defined thoughts on anything. Everything's like some mix. Everything's some fucking gray area. Like, I don't have any sort of, like, clear... Okay, well, there's a couple things. Pedophilia. Yeah, I've got to clear how I feel about it. It's awesome. No, it's yeah. I mean,
will say
everybody fucking hates that, but except for Lloyd, who's always got a great pedophilia defense. You want to give your cool pedophilia defense?
It's a neurochemistry defense, not a pedophilia defense, but that's a whole conversation in and of itself. Like, you know, a couple of drops of the right chemical inside of your fucking brain, and all of a sudden that's you too.
I've heard of like some people getting into car crashes and having like major brain injuries.
My brother.
and becoming that way.
He had a traumatic brain injury. Now he fucks kids. No, I'm kidding. He lost his sense of smell forever. So
My uncle can't smell either.
is it from a traumatic brain injury?
No, he's
it's a
always
decision.
been that way.
Okay.
He just chose to be that. No,
How-
I love that you guys can throw sexuality on a spectrum. But apparently autism and Down syndrome are the same thing for both of you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that you understand. I'm glad that you understand how we feel about things. Mark it off. Cool. We've all decided. Check the box.
Wait, it's autism, Down syndrome, and what was the other one I lumped in?
Oh, muscular
Goofballs.
Oh yeah, MS. Yeah, and Lou Gehrig's disease. They're different.
Well, those are what I call physical retards. Now,
those are walking tards.
He wasn't even walking. He was in a
barely.
That's why. Yeah,
Well, we call them. Well, the ones that aren't walking anymore, we call them wheeling tards. That's a different tard.
No, they're walking because they can't do it. All right.
This isn't that funny, and I don't think we've got enough juice for the squeeze. Anyways, the sad start to comedy. We were talking about this before, and we stopped you because I said before when we were starting to do the show prep or whatever, we don't normally ask people their beginnings of comedy, but you got into a couple things where I was like, all right, that's sad enough where we can make jokes here. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I started comedy in 2020. I had just left one job to start another one, and then the pandemic hit. So I got laid off less than a month, and I dropped out of grad school after 2 semesters.
Real quick, how for you was the pandemic fucking awesome, or did you hate it?
Fucking horrific,
Horrible?
dude. Awful. I literally, comedy saved my life because instead of thinking of ways to kill myself, I thought of jokes. Which is why I came out real suicide heavy joke. In the beginning, it was I've been really thinking about it, guys. Yeah.
I have a serious mental illness, I think, because I love staying inside. When the pandemic hit, I was like, I'm not missing any shows. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because now all my friends are inside like me. I felt like, this is the community that I've always wanted. They're all in with me, but the internet connects us, so that's fine. I don't got to talk to people face to face. This is how I've always wanted life to go. And then I talked to other people, and they're like, yeah, it made me so sad that I wanted to kill myself. And I was like, I think it made me the happiest I've ever been.
I was like, hold on, wait. You're telling me
that's
I don't
some
have
incel shit, dude. That's really some incel.
No, I mean, to me, it was like, oh, wait. You mean I don't have to feel bad about not wanting to do things? I have a built-in excuse, especially being immunocompromised.
Immunocompromised, that's survival.
Yeah, I have the best built-in excuse of people being like, "Hey, we're gonna have an outdoor wedding." Blah blah. I'm like, yeah, it's still just too risky, bro. It probably wasn't, but I'm not going.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't gonna go before. You were just gonna be mad at me then. Now I can be like, "Hey, I can't because I might die."
Hey, I'd love to share these drugs with you, but this straw and immunocompromised. I got to do them all by myself. I can't.
Yeah, just the whole time now you're just not going to be mad at me when I don't go to your thing.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to go. There was no world where I was ever going to show up to
an outdoor wedding.
Well, I mean, just most things.
No, but you get one really funny immunocompromised comedian that he respects, and he'll go lava swimming with him.
Hey, just because we get to commiserate about concrete bones and...
Dude, we went and saw Cy Amundsen, one of the funniest comedians that I've never heard of before until I saw him. He did an hour of fucking achy bones, concrete, fucking spine comedy that I didn't expect to be. Literally, his jokes were so funny that I was sitting there for 2-minute setups that paid off in the biggest ways that I've ever seen jokes pay off. And he's so fucking funny. And I'm looking over my boy Lloyd, who's going through... He's got ankylosing spondyloarthritis and fucking Cy Amundsen has something comparable, psoriatic. So, I don't know. They're fucking different houses in the Game of Thrones, but they're fucking equally terrifying for your body if you have to live in those houses. And they fucking I look over and Lloyd's he always comfort rocks, but he's rocking back and forth with a smile. Now he's happy rocking, and you've never seen him be so yeah, and me too. And then after the show, he's fucking hanging out with Cy, and Cy's yeah, I'll do the podcast. Tentatively, maybe he'll do it, but then fucking off the mics, Lloyd's we're gonna go and take heated baths together.
Doing pool therapy. That's a
Should I cut this out? As
no, you're fine. Pool therapy is just a thing that
I've never seen you be so excited about such a fucking menial thing, but you got a new comedy friend, so
right. But it's one of those things I get to go do a thing I hate doing, but with someone I enjoy being around.
Yeah.
Is it is the pool therapy as soothing? Is it a soothing exercise?
I mean, it's just an easier way to do low resistance stuff. So the disease I have is making all of my bones fuse together at the joints, all of them. So like my neck is almost all the way fused down to my shoulder blade area, so I can't like look up past here, and I can't turn my head. And then my lower back is real fucked. So there's only that little spot in the middle where I still have to kind of try to still rehab and do stuff to make it not get as fucked up as the rest of it. So
Dude,
it's the thing
look
I have
at her
to
face
do.
right now. She's
No, because you have such a sense of humor. All the jokes that we've been making, and it seems like you haven't been offended once.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Unless you'll trash me in the
be
group chat, which I mean, all I ask is you spell my name correctly.
I mean, I don't know if you feel this way, but I can't be friends with anybody that gets like offended serious. Like, Luke will get offended, but it'll be because I bully him, and he's right. And I'm like, okay, that's an appropriate thing to be offended by. But if you get offended by any joke at all that's just me going for something, I'm like, I can't be friends with you because I'm gonna always say the thing that's gonna piss you off. So I don't know what to tell you. But if my friends hit me up and say that like this one wasn't, I didn't like this. I could take that and I could work with that. But if he was hitting me with fucking... he was going through a flare-up the other day while we're playing Puzzle Fighter on PS2. Like, it's fucking... It was great. It's like 2006 all over again. But, like, I'm grown up this time. And we're playing Puzzle Fighter. And he's having one of the worst flare-ups I've ever seen. The entire time, someone's there trying to comfort him the entire time. And I was just there, trying to crack jokes and fuck with him about it. And he's like, cracking jokes back. And, like, because it's like, you don't... I don't know. I think we go kind of from the same cloth a little bit about like it's. What are we gonna do? Be sensitive about this thing that's already gonna kill us? And...
So like, on top of having that, I'm also on the spectrum enough that I don't really have like get offended reactions to shit. I don't really understand what jealousy is, other than I've seen it happen. I understand. Like, I've now accepted that is a thing that people genuinely feel.
Are you poly?
I mean, I absolutely...
I mean, well, like, it's big in the poly community of, like no jealousy and, like, what is it, NRE, new relationship energy? Yeah.
So something I've said a bunch of times that girls I've dated do not care for is I'm like, oh, if you met somebody you really wanted to fuck, just go fuck that person. Like, I can understand that motivation of, like, hey, I just really was into this person and I wanted to fuck him. I had an opportunity, so I did. I'd be like, all right, cool. End the conversation. That's all I need to know. It doesn't work that way with everyone else, so I've had to learn to like understand where the lines on that are, and like
how fascinating is this man? Don't you just want to listen to him talk about his crazy brain all the time? I love it.
Like,
I fucking love it.
When I was married to my daughter's mom, I used to pretend to be jealous about shit because that's what people did.
Yeah.
So I remember like doing shit that it made me feel so fucking dumb and just. Like, I'd be like, why am I doing this? But it's because I thought I was supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what I've seen everyone else do in these situations. But there'd be times where she's like, I'm going out with my friends. I'm like, cool, fuck off. And then, halfway through, I'm like, you get to go out whenever you want. Like, send a text message that was like, it had to read as insincere because it never really... like bore any fruit or at all of like her being like, oh, I feel bad for that. But yeah, you do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. I don't have that. If you don't want to be here, don't be here.
I think you should try poly. I mean, I
have in the past.
You don't have to pretend and send that text.
No. I mean, I have in the past. It just.
Dude, Terra will wait about the fuck, dude.
Oh no, I left poly. I'm monogamous. And
you never really leave. You just put it on the back burner. Put that bad boy on low.
Ooh, buddy,
wait for the
dipped
right.
my toe in the pool, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Wait for the right 7 penises to show up at your doorstep. We never got to your story. Let's. Oh yeah, no.
Do that. Well, my relationship ended with the poly guy. And then I quickly dated like a weird Catholic guy.
This is during the pandemic, right?
Yeah, this is during the pandemic.
Right?
Yeah. I'm not quarantining from dick. Fight me. I didn't live with any elderly or immune compromised people, so
good job.
I got out when I could.
Enjoy yourself. Life is about fun.
I wouldn't call myself a social butterfly, but I like to get some dick.
Yeah.
Of no, but he was just like this weird Catholic guy. Like he was like, I hate dating liberal women because they act like bitches, like they don't need men, and they're very belittling. And
she's like, but the dick was good, so I stuck around for round 2, 3.
It was interesting. He also
I could say when you date fake woke people, that is fucking annoying. When you date actual liberal people that are like, of course, I don't know, I don't want to cite actual examples of my life because I'm going to piss people off, but dated actual liberal people and they're all for jokes and all that shit, but then you date fake woke people that are doing it for brownie points socially, and I'm like, you don't care, you're just doing this for the clap on the back. Sorry, keep going.
Well, no, I think you have to recognize that, like, not everyone is going to think like you.
Yeah.
This is just not how the fucking world works.
Yeah.
So just, like, brace yourself and prepare for that. And if you truly hate the conversation, what's going on, leave. You just leave.
Why were you giving Republicans pussy? What's that? This is the real question.
No, he was not Republican. He was, like, some other weird two-party
Why were you giving Proud Boys pussy? Something about Gavin McGinnis's beard and shitty tattoos really did it for you?
Oh, God, no. Well, what's funny is, that was one of the many funny things.
So he looked like Nick DiPaolo? And his name was Nick DiPaolo? But he assured me he wasn't that Nick DiPaolo.
Well, does Nick DiPaolo have diabetes? Because this guy did.
Probably.
I can tell you nothing turns you off like a man who lifts his stomach up and just like shoots his insulin in his belly. Is like, all right, I'm ready.
That feels great for somebody who has to take shots once a month.
I was just flashing back to going to Simonson.
Do you stick it in front of your date before you fuck? It's one thing to do it in private or go to your doctor's, but
he didn't realize until right now that this was something somebody else would ever think about, because he has to pretend to be a normal person all the time based on his neuroatypical behavior. So now he understands right now in this very moment that's something that he should be thinking about.
Oh no, I fully want to let you know.
Was I off base on that?
No, you
people are uncomfortable with shots, and when you do it in front of them so casually, that turns them off and makes them uneasy.
Noted.
Yeah.
I would have never considered that.
Because he straight up did not flinch, made eye contact with me like, here we go, gonna pop this off, ready to go. Another fun fact, he owned 2 mice.
Mice?
Like
little tiny
rats. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think one of them...
Don't do it, you zoo son of a bitch. I saw your face. They're not actually the same genus. Shut up. Shut up, smart face.
He had 2, 1 died, so he still had 1 more, and he had like a huge rat cage. That was very interesting. I
have to say, I'm hard already. Keep telling me about this charming young man.
You gotta keep that fucking thing in the cage or in your hands. I gotta know where it is.
You want some whiskey?
Also, I love that he's like, I'm getting drunk too drunk too fast. Let me pour another shot.
And he named the rat Ernie. He did.
Was the other one's name Bert?
I think so. Maybe. Yeah, from Sesame Street.
That's
he passed away. But
he wanted control over those 2 gay mice. That sounds very Christian.
I think he actually grew up cult-like because he didn't grow up in school.
That's very Christian.
Yeah. He believed that like school just taught people how to be animals and how to like be submissive. So it was like the school system's useless.
No, he's not Christian. You said it's Catholic, right?
I think he grew up like Christian Catholic, but like extreme.
That's a cult.
Not fair to call it a cult.
It is. It's 100% fair. They fuck kids. They protect people that fuck kids. They literally they've created genocides over the course of thousands of years several times and gotten away with it, and they own a giant amount of wealth in Europe. I would say that they're the most successful cult that's ever existed.
Largest landowner on the planet?
They're not only a cult, they're the most acceptable cult in the entire world, and they've brainwashed people into feeling like it's not fair to call them a cult. No, it is, and and then if too many people say that, then they put on a red cross and they fucking swords and armor and fucking go and kill everybody in a village until they stop saying that about them. That used to be the Catholic way of dealing with people that descended from the church. So yeah, Catholicism, 100% a cult. It's fine to call them a cult. Luke, our shitty turncoat fucking former co-host. Part of that cult talked about it. Nick Glavin, tattoo artist, go check him out. He did the work on my arms, go and fucking hybrid image. But he was a part of that cult, and they both 100% everything that they said, they're like, yeah, it's a fucking cult. So
it's a cult with the tax break, though. Like
Well,
my
religion.
My
That's-
grandpa was a Jehovah's Witness. My fucking
The only
one that's
difference
dead.
between religion
that's
and
a
cult.
super cult that people, even Christians, are like, oh, that's a cult. But Catholicism's not like.
The only religion, the only difference between cults and religion is whether the leader is alive or dead.
We're killing our story, and this is my fault.
If the
no,
if the leader's still alive, it's a cult. If the
Keep
leader's
going
dead,
with
it's a
it.
religion.
This is podcast material. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's always been baffling to me because I don't want to just keep going on me. Like we can go back to your story, but like I
Fuck
didn't
religion.
realize
I'm with you.
people thought it was real until I was like 9 or 10.
But like, well, you use the saying of like the difference between religion is a dead or alive leader. But like, what about fucking Scientology? Hubbard's dead, and they're still believing the shit of like.
Well, that's what
space and.
that is what the thing that you were making the distinction about. The difference between a cult and a religion is that the founder is dead. L. Ron Hubbard's dead, so now it's a religion.
Yeah, they got tax breaks. They got the whole.
Yeah, that's how they figured it out.
And they're everywhere. There's
Well, they figured out a good
center
system.
in Florence, Kentucky. I was like, what?
They figured out a good system of blackmailing the most wealthy, like people in a certain system
And
that
abusing the
controls
legal system to
media, and like being able to then do that with lawyers and a bunch of them, and assemble a team of lawyers that probably have all kinds of horrible shit. Like they've got fucking the reason that Jeffrey Epstein was able to fucking get away with as much shit as he was able to get away with is because
Of
he's got a black book filled with fucking like names. It's like, go ahead, call me out, fuckface. I've got all your names and all these pictures of you on Pedophile Island. Scientology does the same thing. Allegedly. Just kidding.
Allegedly,
these are
by
jokes.
the way, these are
comedy podcasts.
not real.
Not
These are
allegedly.
these
Sue
are
me,
allegedly.
sue me anytime you want, not allegedly.
He
Just
did
sue
hang
Lloyd.
himself. He hanged himself.
Yeah.
He did. He hung himself. Yeah. Oh God.
Anyways, how does this transition to getting into comedy?
Oh no, this is the rock bottom because
Yeah.
the thing you guys are fans of comedy. You're going on stage.
not really.
Hate it.
Do you
Not
like
really
talk to comedians because you're just like I can do this better? And
I'm like a
We
I
think
just
they're
wanna-
less than people, so we can just feel superior the whole time.
yeah, I'm more of a Jeff Dunham fan.
Oh,
You know what's hilarious? That line comes from somebody at the Bell and the Bear. That when Stanhope was playing, I was like, Stanhope's coming, and they're like, yeah, I've seen him before. I don't really like his comedy. I was like, who are you a fan of? She's like, I'm more of a Jeff Dunham fan. I was like,
I don't know if I can hear that.
so I've reused something that a retarded person has told me.
I don't know if I could hear that in real life without headbutting. Like,
A woman in the mouth that
Yeah.
owned Bell and the Bear.
No, that Karis doesn't.
Okay, well,
oh my
Cares like
God,
Stanhope
Jeff done. Okay, I mean different strokes for different folks, but I won't pay for a ticket.
yeah.
Oh man, what if I blow up and get famous, and then Jeff Dunham's thinking about booking a major tour, and he's like,
He's never
heard
gonna
this
find
podcast?
No.
Fuck you.
You think he's
You
ever
lie.
going to hear this podcast?
You guys have been doing it for 5 years. It's like a
Not you
really
guys.
well-oiled
Him.
machine.
I've been doing it for 5 years. I like to, honestly, and I want to say this to everybody listening, this podcast has been going for a year. I consider the podcast in the form that it's in currently, when Lloyd got here, which is about a year ago, this is where the podcast, this is how long we've been doing it now, a year. I'm done saying 5 years. From this moment on, we've been doing it for a year, for as long as Lloyd's been here. Now it's a comedy podcast. It wasn't before this. If you listen to Bastard Sermon before this, we had comedians. We also had bands that sucked. We also had fucking people from History Channel that did fucking dumb shows that sucked. Those interviews fucking sucked. Nobody wanted to listen to Johnny Fairplay from Survivor. Nobody gives a fuck about it. Fuck that shit. I don't want to do that podcast. This is a different version of it. Sorry, I've got to...
So, like, are you like Beyonce rejoining Destiny's Child with like?
Yeah, I know what that
with
means.
This podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Just
so,
like that,
Destiny's
that I
Child
understand.
have Beyonce. If you don't know Beyonce, I
Oh,
will
Destiny. I'm a...
Be Destiny's Child and Beyonce.
is that the
went
Left Eye
solo. No, that's TLC.
I know that.
But
I'm
you're
making
working.
fun of him.
You're working. No, what? That's an odd. So your podcast has been going over a year, and it's a well.
Yeah, we're Beyonce
machine.
now.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, your Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child is more. Beyonce's one person.
I get your point, though. We've been doing it for a
Destiny.
while. Somebody's going to hear it eventually. Not Jeff Dunham. Jeff Dunham's never going to hear this fucking thing. Fuck Jeff Dunham.
And
It's
hey,
fucking
Jeff,
corny.
if you ever listen to it, I hope you die painfully.
Why? He's
What you have done.
My
has
grandma
upset
likes
me.
him.
Then she can't too.
Can you restart this? Because now I realize it's a clip. Go ahead.
Jeff, die painfully. I hope everyone you care about is there when it happens. so they can all suffer for what you have inflicted upon society.
Which Jeff?
Dunham. Jeff Dunham. You and your stupid puppet act can go fuck themselves with a cactus up your dick hole. I hate you.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Oh.
You don't like it when the gun puppet says the N-word, though? That's not your thing? No? Well, okay.
The puppets can die, too. Yeah.
I mean, every puppet says something racist, I think. That's his whole thing. It's like, I'm a jalapeno puppet, and then he just goes on a racist rant about Mexicans. I'm like, okay.
Oh, no.
Sick, dude.
Oh.
No, if you're going to do it, just be honest.
My joke fell flat, but that's the...
It is what he's doing.
It's literally what he's doing.
Because your joke falls flat because it shouldn't be a joke, because it shouldn't be allowed, but everybody's just like, he knows how to say things in a way that sound confident. Let him talk. And it's like, no.
The only good Jeff Dunham story I ever heard was there was a comedy club owner that was notorious for being like, well, you would have made your bonus, but you missed it by 2 seats. And he pulled out Walter, the old man, like fucking angry puppet. And he was like, before we start this fucking show, I'm going to have everybody take a name count. Don't worry, it'll get funny at the end. And then he counts every single person in the thing. He's like, 422. Cool. That's my bonus. I want to get paid, cunt. And then anyway, he went back into his normal material after that, and I was like, okay, the only good Jeff Dunham story I've ever heard is him fucking. But then I think about it, I'm like, is that a good story though? Because he just ruined the audience's time just to make a fucking point to the club owner. I'm like, for a comic in the back, that's a good fucking Jeff Dunham story because he sucks every other time that you see him, but. Fucking terrible. I feel like we've derailed Terra K so many times tonight.
No, but
and I apologize. I'll kill myself in the bathroom like all of our dads did right now. If you want me to, do you want me to do that? I'll do that right now. I have to piss. So.
Only if you jerk off while you do it. You know, just to have a happy ending as you go.
All right.
Didn't that guy from Kill Bill kill himself that way?
David Carradine.
Yeah, that's a rock and roll way to
Wearing a Bugs Bunny costume.
Just.
I don't know if that's true, but that's how I masturbate with a belt around my neck thinking about it.
I picture him wearing the yellow suit from Kill Bill, like him just trying to choke himself with a belt, thinking he's Uma Thurman jerking him off. Like that's how I like to picture it. But yeah, there's a bunch of guys that have done that.
It's just such a hardcore way to go. Like, is that nut just the like top ecstasy moment that you gotta be on the brink of death?
Even if it is, I can't imagine David Carradine had a hard time getting laid. Like.
But that's what I mean. The nut is so good. It's like, I rather nut on my own with a belt than be in some pussy.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is I think he could have had some girl holding the belt.
No, women are stupid, so you just you can't trust a woman to do anything. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, you know what? Maybe his misogyny was making it where he had to. Like, I have to be better at this than some
I can do it better.
Dumb clam.
Oh, absolutely. She probably doesn't even have the upper body strength.
Yeah. She can't torque it the way my body weight will.
I know. Well, and then they get the talking and
couldn't you at least just have like some random clam stand there to like make sure you don't like hang there for long enough to die? Like,
no, man, he's a man.
Just like, hey, you shut up and watch. When I start turning blue, undo the belt.
Yeah. But watch me though. Make eye contact. Don't ever break eye contact.
Yeah, I mean, like, you couldn't have, like, his business manager standing there for that or whatever. Like, they're not going to let him die. They want that fucking paycheck.
Oh, man. No, it just, it just has to be the ultimate nut. Like, yeah.
I can't imagine being able to maintain, like, if you try to choke me or touch my neck or whatever. I did jujitsu and shit for years. I'm not gonna handle it well.
Oh, I'm the same way. I have PTSD. I don't like any physical violence. I stopped going into the shows, but like, yeah, the choke.
How are you friends with Lloyd?
I don't like physical.
Sorry, it's hard to get that belt around.
That's
my
love language.
It's hard to get that belt off from my neck. So I'm back though. I'm back. It took a second.
Did it get stuck in one of the chins?
We've ruined this story a million times, but
oh no, this is a podcast. This is how it's supposed to go.
We're coming up on the end of the free show, so let's close on how you got into comedy.
Yeah.
Then we'll bring it back up on the page. Do you have an hour for the Patreon?
Maybe 30 minutes. I mean, if you get me talking and we'll float and see. But yeah, no, like, so that relationship fell apart, which you knew, like the man who owned a mice and had diabetes. And hated liberal women.
She dated Scott Malcolmson.
I specifically said I hate dating liberal women. Like,
what a nerd.
He wasn't the one, unfortunately.
Is this a white guy or a black guy?
Oh, white guy. Oh, white guy. And then, so I like those 2 relationships ended, and I was just like depressed.
Can I tell a story that Lloyd's gonna hate?
No.
What?
Let her finish.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh,
but
I like to joke and say that I'm a Zoom comedian because I took 2.5 stand-up classes via Zoom because we were stuck in the house and open mics weren't happening. And then beginning of 2021, the first mic I attended was Luke Fagenbush's mic at Max and Clifton.
Yep.
Horrible.
I thought you were going to say something great.
No.
Horrible. I did my first set, but that was with my graduating class in August of 2020, a few days after my birthday. But a traditional real open mic, I didn't touch till January or February of 2021, and it was still cold, and it was Clifton. Oh man, I got heckled. It was.
Was this your first time on stage on an actual physical mic?
At a regular open mic. I guess yeah. But
What'd you get heckled for? What'd they say to you?
I don't remember what my first joke was, but as I was going in my bit, there was a black man there, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then they just started laughing. There was a group in the back, and the group in the back just started laughing.
Oh, that's brutal.
And the other guy just kept pointing at me, going "What the fuck? You hear her?" And I'm just like, "What is it?
Brutal.
What is it? Is it my voice? Is it just me?" I was literally reading note cards as I was standing in front of the mic.
That's probably it.
Well, who knows? But it was
shaking,
brutal.
holding note cards.
I
don't know what it was.
Oh, I was
sweating.
I could not consume enough alcohol for that night. And there was a crowd in the back, but a good bit of the crowd kept disappearing and coming back, so there was constantly traffic out the door. And later I found out they were doing drugs. They took a drug break and they came back because they're fans of comedy. Okay, so no.
I've only seen you do comedy 4 or 5 times, and every time that I've seen you, it's over at Chameleon, the open mic.
Yeah, it's
but I have to say, every time that I've seen it, I'm whispering in the ear of Luke and Lloyd, holy fucking shit, she's got maybe not getting laugh on something because it's a premise that you're, but I'm she's trying something out up here.
Yeah, I'm working
she's
on
going for it, and every time that I see you doing something, I haven't been going recently because I haven't had any money in my pocket, so I'm not going to go leave my house. I don't have money for my kids. I'm going to go fucking spend money at the bar and go see comedy. I'm a bad father. I'm not doing that. But every time that I have, it was fucking hilarious. You have, and when it wasn't belly laugh, it was that's a great joke in the making. I was she's got so much goddamn potential. And then I saw you buddying up with Phil Pointer, and then I'm is it fair to say that you're Phil Pointer's protege almost?
Oh,
sort
absolutely.
Kind of.
I mean, well, I wouldn't say I'm his protege because I think that's an insult to Phil and how he's been working on his craft. But this scene is mostly white men.
Is protege? Do I not know what the word
protege
means?
is someone that's he's tutoring or mentoring through.
Yeah.
And I'm I don't think I'm good enough to say I was
calm
taught
down.
by Phil.
Phil's
He's
you
so
gotta
good.
start somewhere.
Yeah. But
Phil's
thank
the
you.
best. I love Phil.
He is absolutely the best, and I appreciate this.
When I saw Phil
That's
co-sign
sweaty.
you on top of me being this is rules, I was comics also like her that I respect. I was I'm all in on Terra K. She fucking rules. If you guys get an opportunity to see Terra K, go out and check her out. She's gonna be at the Pro Am night at Go Bananas on October 12th. Am I getting that right? At what time? What time is that?
7 p.m.
Is
Wednesday.
there a charge for that show? And if so, how much?
$5 tickets. That's
$5 with inflation. That's basically 30 cents.
That's all,
Come on.
and it's stacked with great professional amateur comedians around the tri-state area.
Go and
it's
check
gonna be a fun show. But I absolutely fucking love comedy.
We're gonna talk more shit on the Patreon. We're getting to the end of the show. Got to do the ad reads. This show is sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke. If you need to get your, I never do this read, so I don't even know how to sort of get into this. I'm gonna fuck this up real bad. If you like to dab and vape and smoke things, I don't even know if weed's legal now. If I can say that. Hey man, it's for smoking weed. That's what it's for. I don't know if it's legal to say that. I don't know what to tell you. Sue Lloyd, he said it was cool. Lump that into the Scientology and the fuck Jeff Dunham thing. He said it was cool to sue him for that. Sue him for this too. Sue him for my bad ad read. Yeah. I mean, you can't bleed 2 stones, okay?
Sue me for their dead dads too.
Yes.
Whatever.
Do that. Scarlet Vape and Smoke. Go and check them out. Google search where they're located at.
Malma Street,
I don't
Newport,
feel bad.
Kentucky.
I actually don't feel bad because they didn't pay us for a while and we still read their shit. Then we stopped reading it. Then randomly we got a payment for a fucking ad read. So here's your haphazard ad read for your fucking haphazard payment. I'm sorry. I appreciate your sponsorship, but I don't appreciate not always getting the money every time on time. So whatever. But go and fucking check their shit out. It's at a place. You Google search it, you'll find it. They've got bongs and vapes and all kinds of shit that you can smoke black tar heroin with or whatever you're doing with these.
My
fucking
stoner
vapes.
friends do enjoy the place and they have said good things about it. So
yeah,
go check them out. Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop.
We're also sponsored by The Decorated Body. If you want to check out The Decorated Body, it's at The Decorated Body on Instagram or at BG Bronson. That's Bobby Bronson. He owns a tattoo shop in the historic Pendleton district of OTR called The Decorated Body. He's got a bunch of amazing artists down there supporting along and some other people that haven't paid us to say their names. I don't know why I'm saying her name. I'm a little drunk. Go and check them out. He does anime style tattoos, manga style tattoos, a bunch of shit. He's always booked full. His shit is fucking dope as fuck. All of his art is amazing. If you just want to follow him, just to like it, at BG Bronson. If you just want to follow it just because you enjoy looking at art, at The Decorated Body. Their books close constantly. As soon as his books open, they close within like a couple days. I mean, he's so popular. Everybody fucking wants a tattoo from him. Make sure you fucking follow him. Lloyd, save me from my drunken self.
Hey, do you like banging?
Dude, I love
banging. Do you
banging.
like snacks?
Yeah.
Those two.
Check out banginsnacks.net. They curate snacks from all across the globe. Some of the best stuff you'll ever find that is not readily available here at your regular, bodega or grocery store or whatever. Shit you'd normally have to go to Jungle Gems and pay 5 times more for. Delicious snacks from Korea, Japan, Norway, all over the world. And there's so many amazing things on there. They have chips, candies, drinks, all kinds of stuff. And I have done the price comparison myself personally. Like, it's so much cheaper than so many of the other places that you can get these things that I was genuinely impressed.
How are they making money?
I'm going to assume not a ton of it, but I think they're in it for the love of the fucking game.
And if you're a fan of us, I mean, if it's already
you like
cheap,
snacks. We know you like snacks.
How much cheaper can you get it?
If you use the code BASTARD or BASTARDS, you can save 15% at checkout. And there's pictures even on their Instagram of me and my friends all having big boxes of their. You get so much stuff in the like mystery boxes or whatever. They fill them fucking packed to the brim where you're like, this is way more than what I spent. So please go check them out. If you think any of that stuff sounds cool, check it out. Baked squid chips, fucking tomato soup. There's a million different kinds of things in there. You're like, I don't think I would never think that was a flavor. But then you try it and you're like, that's fucking amazing.
And I don't know if this is relevant or not to our ad reads, but I kind of feel like I don't really like the Bengals. How do you feel about the Bengals?
I say, fuck you, we like the Bengals. Check out my other podcast, Fuck You, We Like the Bengals, with a friend of the pod,
Alex Schubert.
Big Daddy Alex Schubert's the biggest hands in the fucking game. We just started doing videos, so it's going to be on YouTube as well. Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. Check it out. If you have a question, you can get a hold of me. I'll tell you where it's at.
Big Tubes just featured for Gabe Kia. He's coming up. He's doing great things. Make sure you go out there and see Alex Schubert. I have a newfound respect for Alex Schubert that I hadn't had in the past. I'm sorry that I slept on you, Shubes, but your Asperger's really fucking sent me away from you originally, but after I got to know you and I saw your comedy live, holy shit, he's a crusher. He gets out there and he kills it. Go and see him. And producing that podcast, man, they put in a lot of goddamn work every single week to make a fun podcast for you. And they were very kind, and they allowed me to produce for it. And Lloyd was very nice and paid me to produce for it. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Alex Schubert. I love you guys. I'm happy to do it again for you if you want it. Full videos. Alex is going to be putting that on YouTube. It was a little slow start because normally they come out before the episode comes out because they have predictions for how the game's going to go. I'm sure next week he's going to have a game ready
at 5.
A motherfucking game ready thing. Tomorrow at 5. That's an interesting time frame. That's an interesting time frame for what we've got going on. I
Yep.
hope it's an hour and a half long episode and nothing more.
Yep.
Because Jeff Tate is coming on the motherfucking podcast tomorrow. Look out for Jeff Tate. Look out for Sam Talent. Both of those are coming. We're recording both of those this week. I don't know when they're coming out, but you're going to fucking hear those. If you want more of Terra K, it's coming up on the Patreon. Patreon.com/TheBastardSermon. $5.
$5.
That's nothing. That's nothing to you at this point. I mean, I just paid $14 for a Baconator that had no bacon on it today at Wendy's. Come on. Get on the Patreon. It's nothing to you. It's nothing. In this fucking market, $5 will not hurt your bank account. We will try to keep Terra's interest for 30 minutes and hopefully an hour, and we'll see you there. Goodbye. Jesus